everybody, it's Dr. Forth, and I'm continuing my discussion about detoxification. Today, we're actually going to discuss the role of the skin in detoxification. Now, the skin is not a primary organ of detoxification. The organs we've already discussed, the kidneys, the liver, the gut, they're the ones that are mostly responsible for detox process. But the skin does play a role, and in fact, even more so if there's any problem with those primary organs of detoxification. So if we look at the structure of the skin, the outer layer, the layer that you see, is stacked up, flat, tile-shaped cells. And this arrangement helps to prevent things from readily getting through the skin. Below that, we have a connective tissue layer that has collagen and elastin fibers, keeping the skin strong and allowing it to stretch. And that's also where most of the nerve endings, hair follicles are located also in this layer. And we have some glands. There are different types of glands in the skin. We have sweat glands, and we also have oil-producing glands called sebaceous glands. There's two different types of sweat glands. One type is called the apocrine glands, and they are concentrated at the groin and axillary area. They become active during puberty after signals from rising hormone levels. Their secretions are a little bit thicker. They also have more of an odor. They secrete materials that are going to contain lipids and proteins. And we tend to use antiperspirants or deodorant to block the odor because the secretions from these glands have more of an odor. And in fact, it's not really the secretions. It's what happens when the material in the secretions are metabolized by the bacteria present on our skin. And so we wear antiperspirants or deodorant to prevent that problem. Now, antiperspirants actually block the sweat glands. They usually contain various aluminum compounds. And so this reduces the amount of sweat that's released. Deodorants contain fragrance materials and antimicrobials to prevent the odor, but they don't stop the sweating process. Remember, it's the bacteria metabolizing the sweat that creates the body odor. So the deodorants are going to address the odor. Antiperspirants are classified by the FDA as over-the-counter drugs, and deodorants are just considered cosmetic materials. So that's one type of sweat gland. The other type is found all over the skin, and it's called the Eccrine gland. These secretions are very watery. They contain mostly water, some salts, sodium and chloride, potassium, and so forth. They also have small amounts of waste products like lactate and urea. You might notice that individuals who eat a lot of spicy foods and onions or garlic, they may have more pronounced body odor or odor on the skin surface because those volatile chemicals in the spices, onions, and garlic actually can come out through the skin. Sebaceous or oil-producing glands release something called sebum. And sebum is a fatty substance. It helps to keep the skin moisturized. Acne comes from the action of sebaceous glands, overproduction of sebum, and also inflammation of the sebaceous glands or blockage of the sebum, creating pimples. The sebaceous glands release some fat-soluble waste materials, and also the sebum contains squalene, which helps protect the skin with its antioxidant properties, and cholesterol. Cholesterol helps to maintain the integrity of the skin barrier. Cholesterol is actually not the bad guy that the advertisements would have you believe. Cholesterol is produced by the liver, and we find cholesterol in use for steroid hormones, and it's also a part of all of the cell membrane. The cholesterol from the sebum helps to protect the surface of the skin. It's only when we have the wrong types of cholesterol or cholesterol in high amounts that it really causes a problem. But it is a natural product produced by the liver and has uses. It is normal to have some waste material released through the sweat and sebum. While the other organs we've discussed, the liver, the kidneys, and the gut, are the primary organs of detoxification through mechanisms that we discussed in previous videos, the skin also plays a role. So there's a small amount of waste removal through both the sweat and the sebaceous glands. Obviously, the water soluble materials are going to be in sweat, and fat soluble materials tend to go in the sebum, and also the sweat produced by those apocrine glands at the groin and axillary area. This release of waste materials becomes more pronounced if we have some kind of disease process that is affecting the function of the primary organs of detoxification. People with kidney disease, liver disease have really bad breath. They also have body odor associated with problems in waste material removal. There's also such a thing called uremic frost, which we almost never hear about anymore because of the efficiency of modern dialysis. But uremic frost is where you have so much release of waste materials through the skin, it's forming crystals on the skin. It almost looks like a white powdery substance. We almost never see that anymore because dialysis helps to remove those waste products more efficiently so that we don't have the waste products coming through the skin to that extent that it produces the frost or crystals on the skin. But you do have some waste materials coming through the skin when you have liver or kidney disease. And so that can cause itching, unpleasant odors, and inflammation of the skin. So the skin kind of helps to pick up the slack where those other organs are not working as efficiently. So the skin plays a much bigger role in detoxification if the primary organs of detoxification are not working as efficiently. So I'm going to be creating a detoxification class where we can get into a little bit more detail and also discuss active ways that you can help to support your own body's natural detoxification process. And there's not a magic supplement or process that you can do that will perfectly detox everything. So it's going to be a holistic approach involving reducing the amount of toxins that you get exposed to begin with, and then some supportive measures that can help your body's own natural detoxification processes. So stay tuned.